I bought my first house with zero cash due at closing. Actually, I walked away with a check. And no, I didn't have perfect credit, a big savings account, or a clean past. If you've ever assumed home ownership just isn't for someone like you because of your past, your credit, or your bank account, I need you to hear this. I need you to hear this story, my story, because not that long ago, I was right there with you. I bought my home that I currently live in March of 2020. And here's the part that still surprises people when I say it out loud. I bought my house with no cash due at closing. And I actually walked away from the closing table with a check in my hand. Now, before we go any further, I want to be very clear. There's nothing special about me. This wasn't luck, and it definitely wasn't reckless. It was about understanding the system, being honest with where I was, and surrounding myself with the right people. At the time, I was in my late 20s, single, and just starting to get my feet back underneath me. I had recently coming out of 2 separate stints in treatment for my battle with alcohol. I was about 1 year into my long-term recovery and only 9 months into a new career in the mortgage industry. A job I was incredibly grateful for because someone believed in me enough to give me a chance. I spent 7 months living in a sober house with 5 other men. I paid rent, worked, and slowly started cleaning up my finances. Later, during the winter, I moved into my parents' basement and spent the next couple of months saving everything I could. This didn't happen overnight. Believe me, it was intentional. And even then, I had no idea if it would be enough. Before I ever met with the lender, I believed every single myth you still hear out there today. I need cash for closing costs. There's no chance I have enough. I'm not even going to ask for any help from the sellers. That's just completely unrealistic. The first-time home buyer programs are great, but I'm not sure how restrictive they really are. I mean, this is me we're talking about here. I get the structure of the down payment assistance as a second mortgage. It just still seems too good to be true, though. What am I missing? But the biggest fear wasn't the future. Quite frankly, it was my past. My credit scores had taken a hit. I had a credit card with at least a 90-plus day delinquency from a time when I had no income and no other way to pay it. And let me tell you, it's really hard to make credit card payments when you're in rehab all the time. So while I felt like I might actually have a chance, I truly didn't know, but I needed to find out. I ended up using an FHA loan combined with South Dakota Housing's first-time homebuyer program with the 5% down payment assistance. The home price was around $155,000, and again, that part was intentional. I wasn't trying to stretch. I wasn't chasing a steal or a fixer-upper. I focused on a monthly payment that I felt comfortable with. I also genuinely love older homes, the character, the feel. And at that time, thankfully, there were plenty of options that fit both my taste and my budget. Here's how the numbers shook out. The 3.5% FHA down payment, my closing costs, even the upfront mortgage insurance. All of that was either covered by my down payment assistance or rolled into the loan. I put $1,000 down as my earnest money deposit, but even that was credited back to me at the closing table. I started this process with about $5,000 saved up, and after closing, I still had about $4,000 left in my account. That doesn't mean that this process wasn't stress-free. Far from it. The moment that shook me the most wasn't financing. It was the home inspection. There were items that needed to be addressed, and suddenly it hit me. This deal could actually fall apart. The most stressful part was waiting to see whether the sellers would agree to handle those repairs. That was the first time I truly felt how fragile a purchase can be. Then came the moment. I was sitting at my desk when my loan officer called me over into his office and said, "Hey, come take a look at this." We pulled up the closing disclosure. At the bottom of the first page, it showed that I needed to bring in about $140. I thought, that's it? I'd been bracing myself for $2,000 or $3,000 at least. Then they said, no, that's not money you're bringing in. That was actually money I was getting back. I will never forget that feeling. Looking back, I was wrong about everything I thought would permanently disqualify me. I thought my past would define my future. I thought no money down meant reckless. I thought programs were only for perfect borrowers. None of that was true. I trusted my banker. I trusted my realtor. And for the first time in a long time, I trusted myself. If home ownership feels out of reach because of prior issues, shame, self-doubt, I'm telling you, I was you. There's nothing special about my story, but there is something important about getting started. You can't know what's possible if you never ask the question. And when you think you're ready to start, please know I'm here. I didn't just study this, I lived it. And now I can help others navigate it every day. Hey, if this resonates with you, reach out. And in the next video, I'll break down how seller credits can often limit or even eliminate cash due at closing, just like they did for me.